Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Wise Up TV, where we are doing Warriors Weekly, your weekly update and news. I'm hopefully trying to do this at least once a week, and if I do get to a point, it might be daily. So I'm just trying some new things content wise as I look to kind of do more pre recorded content. But let me know what you guys think anyway. Just to give you some updates on what's happening in the world of the Warriors, the wild world, should we say. Firstly, going to acknowledge that there are some NRLW departures announced by the club this week, specifically in the NRLW team. I want to read off their names here. We've got Michaela Ellie, who was a front row forward, I think. She did maybe get one or two games, I believe. Was a bit further back in the picking order. Obviously, got harder to Butler and a few others. But she is departing. Lydia Tudu who I thought played well as a kind of a hooker, sometimes a half. They've obviously going to stick with Capri Paiko, as it seems. Maybe there's another hooker in the works, from what I can see. Lavinia Kitai, now this is the other interesting one. She was a starter at times, Lavinia, as a front row forward who had some good games. I think even her fitness got better towards the end of the season. But she is being moved on. Maybe a hint to something else happening in the club. Likewise, Avery Rose Carmont, who played at hooker, was really a depth signing, has been released. Emily Curtin, this is an interesting one. Maybe with the signing of Gail Broughton, it means that Curtin's time was done at the club. But she kind of came along, especially in that Bulldogs game, and I thought, wow, we're going to really start to click into gear. And then once she got injured, you could just see the drop off, and all the weight and responsibility fell on Patricia Maliepo. So who knows what it could have been with Emily in the end. We might have made a final spot, we may not have, but I did start to grow. Emily's start wasn't the best, but she started to grow on me by the time of that Bulldogs game, and then I think she had the ACL or whatever that injury was. Um, then you got Kaylin Takitimu Cook. I think it was an outside back. Again, a very deep kind of roster position. And then Michaela Brake. So she became a mum. She was the big hype signing of the thing. I think that door has now closed, and what a kind of an anticlimax. And it's not to disrespect Michaela and her family, and absolutely happy for her. Just it's a shame that it just kind of fell away without even really much notice. It just she disappeared for 2 weeks, and everyone was wondering. And of course, she was pregnant, and hoping that goes well. But it's just a shame that we couldn't finish the year and get some more data and some more answers more than questions about her future in rugby league. But we wish her all the best. Lastly, Tyra Wetere, she isn't leaving. I got this one wrong. I saw a Twitter post from someone, or from Catalan's Dragons. She's actually going to Catalan's Dragons this off season. This season must be, I'm not sure, maybe now or between now and next year, over in the winter grades over there in France. I think France, England played the summer season. I think France, they play in the winter season still. So I imagine she's probably going to shoot over there at some point, play through Christmas time, February, in the south of France, which will be wonderful. She'll have a wonderful time. But I have confirmed from her that she's going to be back in time for Warriors off season. So great little getaway for Tyra. I thought she was fantastic on the wing. She is coming back, people. Don't get scared about that. But I had a chat with some people actually on Instagram that she was a half. I didn't realize she was listed as a half, but that she got moved to the wing, which I thought she did a great job. But maybe she goes to Catalans and has a bit more time on the ball as an actual playmaking half, whether it's 7 or 6, I'm not too sure. But that's exciting to see what prospect she brings next year. Now, with all those girls going out, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 departures. There must be a few coming in. There has to be. There are reports of some coming in from rugby sevens, rugby union. Now that the World Cup is over, maybe there's some that want to try their taste over here. We've had a few from sevens come over already, who have done a great job. Now that we've shown them that there's a pathway here, maybe they can see, actually, we can do this as well. There was even one considered from one of the girls that played at the Rugby World Cup, I believe, wanting to jump in the Pacific Champs for the Kiwis. Who that is, I'm not too sure, but there is growing interest now in the NRLW, and maybe 7 of those girls, who the majority were fringe players, now we're seeing that the club is starting to build for the future. There is the likes of Gail Broughton. Maybe there's one more from the Broncos. I'm not too sure. Maybe there's a few others from rugby and a mixture of other places that we go to market and strengthen what I thought Ron did a fantastic job with getting this group working. Specifically, the forwards. I think he got his forwards going by the end of the year. He unearthed Ivana Lauitiiti. He started to get some really good work out of Harata once her fitness game. He started to get a lot going from that team. The attack started to flow a bit. It fell away at times with all depending on Patricia. Maybe that changes with the Gail Broughton. Thought the back row options with Shakira Baker were fantastic. And Atai. I thought the centres when they had a chance were good too. Although there was some sin bins and we lost some people to 2 weeks, which is ridiculous. There's only it's a 10-week competition and they're sending them off for like 3 weeks. I'm like, okay, well, it's rubbish in my opinion. But the unearthing of Peyton Taki Moana, the try scoring freak that she was, even in the centres played a massive role. No doubt she's going to be locked up long term. But look, 7 players to replace. Um, Maybe we bring in some more again. Who knows? Some may get re-signed. I'm not sure. Probably not. But there's some excitement around that NRLW team next year. Finished in the 7th or 8th, I believe. They could definitely make a push for 6th, even 5th next year. So let's see what happens in that space. Outside of that, Barney and Metcalf are back. There are footages of them on Instagram of the club, them doing light running, light training. It's fantastic to see that they're on their feet. They're actually be able to run on the field again. Little light work, up and downs, kind of little jogs, baby steps, should we say. But it is good signs to know that the club are lighting that as they are, they're pretty much saying these boys are training and we're hoping to have them back as soon as possible. There was an actual Instagram reel with just Metcalf hinting that maybe he's on his way back, but I think that's a kind of a foreshadowing of the deal's going to get done with him contract wise. So let's see what happens in that space. But great to see the boys on the field. The New South Wales Cup team is into the state championships, pretty much the Super Bowl, should we say, where the Queensland Cup and the New South Wales Cup meet on the grand final day. It's exciting. It's crazy. Like, the boys did a wonderful job. What Dunga did, the quality of the players they've got, they produce. It's great to see all of our kind of juniors go back into Cup, and you got quality players through that team. I've had some people who are aware of the Queensland Cup and Burleigh Bears and think, and they don't take anything lightly, but they think we should be able to do a job on this team, on this Burleigh Bears team. I wouldn't go that far to say that. You never take anything lightly, but it looks as though we are in the favourite position, I would say. But we're looking forward to that one. I think that is on Sky Sports. We'll get to watch that, I think, in the build-up to the grand final. And lastly, R360, Rugby 360 has been given the green light. There are reports saying that players, they've targeted 10 players from the NRL, and it's going to go ahead. My question for you as Warriors fans, are you concerned that there may be some from our club that might be taken away? We know of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, that's a given. If there has been greenlit now, maybe that happens sooner rather than later. Does he get a release early? And then we start to build with the LFI Khan Pereira. Is that in fact what maybe has been happening behind the scenes? Is Roger saying, look, I'm going to go next year? Who knows? But let me know what you guys think. Are you concerned with maybe 1 or 2 players, maybe 3 or 4? That could be taken by R360. There's a big opportunity there. Money talks, as they say in professional football and professional rugby league. So we'll have to wait and see about that. But let me guys know what you guys think about that. That is your Warriors Weekly thus far. If I get any more news, I'll keep you guys updated. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch up with you next time. Peace.